From the nation's capital and the capital of high school football in America, the Chantilly Chargers and close rival Centerville dominated their district through most of the decade of the 90s. Chantilly twice went all the way to the state title game and were crowned champions in 1996. But when the new Westfield High opened its doors just miles away from Chantilly in the late 90s, a rivalry was born that quickly became a thorn in the side of the Chantilly Chargers. With the addition of Westfield, the Chargers no longer had a stranglehold on the Concord district, and they began to battle with their new neighbors for the top spot each year with the same kind of intensity they had previously fought with Centerville. Between Chantilly and Westfield, the two schools have appeared in 8 region championships. Over the past 2 years, each has gone all the way to the state title game, and this year, both teams had their sights on the whole shebang. On September 19th of this year, week 4 of the young high school football season, the two met at Chantilly, and both came into their game against one another, as they often do, undefeated, ranked in the state top 20, and looking to knock out the one team that stood in their way to a northern region run. Chantilly looked to get back on the horse, as Westfield has been dominant through most of the past 7 years and hadn't lost in 16 straight games going back to November of 2006. Beyond that, it had been 3 years since Chantilly had beaten the Bulldogs in the regular season. The two played tight for the entire first half, and with under a minute to play in the half, Westfield finally broke ahead and took a 1-touchdown lead into the locker room. The Chantilly crowd was electric. There were over 10,000 fans at the game, and they were making some serious noise. But early on in the third quarter, a turnover changed the momentum over to Westfield's side for good, and the wheels fell off for Chantilly, giving up 5 turnovers. Westfield ended up trouncing Chantilly 32-7. Well, as fate would have it, the two came in tonight in this Northern Region semifinal playoff game to renew once again their beloved rivalry. This would be the second time in 3 years the two met in the playoffs. This time they played almost even for 4 quarters, and with just under 2 minutes to play, it was Chantilly who had gone on the road and scored to break a 28-28 tie and grab a 1-touchdown lead. The Westfield fans in disbelief. The Charger fans on the road were rocking their side of the field. Their boys had to hang on for one last defensive stand, and that should be it, a run at the region championship game. Well, in the fog and rumble of thousands of the Chantilly faithful, Scott Pichelle got ready to kick it to the Bulldogs for one more shot, and he made sure that Jordan Anderson would not get a return, booming his kick back into the end zone. Here come the defending state champion Westfield Bulldogs. Would they again drive the entire field and send the Chargers home for the rest of the playoffs? Danny Fenyak, he gives it to Jordan Anderson, and Jordan races outside to the right but gets run out of bounds after only picking up 3 yards. Fenyak, second down. Throws incomplete. Some very physical, tight coverage on Cole McInturf by Mike Ferris and Alex Lebrecht. It's third down and long. Chantilly looks like they're going to hold. Fenyak drops back to pass, fires it out on a deep slant to Evan Winfrey, and he throws it behind him, and the Chargers are one play away from going to the region championship game. Fourth down and long. Fenyak, one last gasp. Evan Winfrey goes up, and he gets it and keeps the drive alive for Westfield. First down out at the 37-yard line. But the clock is not helping things. Westfield moves up to start the play as the chains move. 1 minute, 20 seconds, 63 yards away. Fenyak hits Cole McInturf. He picks up 6 yards. The clock is rolling. 1 minute 10. Fenyak stretching the field to the wide side. He's got Evan Winfrey in Chantilly territory. First down, Westfield. That moves the chains and stops the clock with 1 minute 4. Westfield on the Chantilly 43-yard line. Danny dumps it to Jordan Anderson in the flat. He's got a first down. Breaks a tackle, and he's got it all the way down to the 16-yard line of Chantilly. 49 seconds. Bulldogs ready to snap when that clock rolls. Fenyak can't hit Winfrey, but the clock stops with 45 seconds. The Bulldogs are now only 16 yards away. Second down. Fenyak wants it all, fires into the end zone. Again, McInturf can't get through Mike Ferris, and Brian Abetamarco almost picked it off, He could have ended it there, but he couldn't hang on. McInturf, not arguing at all about being able to get through the coverage to the ball, he just lines it up again. It's 3rd down and 10 from the Chantilly 16-yard line. Just 39 seconds to play in the game. On the road, the Charger faithful trying to keep their boys fighting. Beignac, he fires it out to Max Spees, who's gonna throw it. Michael Fry's all over him. And this time, Abeta Marco does not let it go. He picks it off in the end zone, and the Chargers finally have beaten Westfield for the first time since November of 2006. There's a changing in the guard of the Concord District. The Chargers back on top. They win at 35-28 and will move on to play the Oakton Cougars next week in the 2008 Northern Region Championship game. From Chantilly, Virginia, for Max Preps and Burger King, I'm Joe Ball.